got an update, a fun fact update for you. So before I say what it is, the thing about me and my tism, like sometimes I have these urges and itches. I gotta scratch the itch to get it done with the creativity spark.
Right.
So I remember when I had a website, I made it in one day. The podcast, my original podcast, I started that right away. Like kind of, we earlier in our podcast journey, we spoke about success like speed. And subconsciously, I've always felt like I've kind of been on that type of time. Like I did,
Like while wait,
I gotta do it. Yeah. Now I've learned over time that I feel like that's like kind of like one of my abilities where I can kind of get to something and then do it. Now, as far as like realizing where it's time to opportunity for growth and scaling, I may have those blind spots there, but as far as the idea, I'm attacking.
Like you're gonna execute, but you get to a certain point where you kind of just like,
and I was just probably not realizing this is like a moment of like doing something. I'll just keep going though.
Yeah.
Now, I say all to say, in 2 days, I wrote a book. So I wrote a book. So we better have some competition in the field soon. Coming soon for everybody. Q-Day Howard I'm gonna be a published author.
So you're gonna publish the book?
I'm gonna publish it.
All right, congratulations.
So probably audio book first. So I know. Actually, I'm not gonna do audio book. I'm not reading this shit. But
He's not gonna read his own book.
But yeah, so it came to me, one of the concepts I spoke about, on the show. I ain't gonna reiterate it now. I'll say it now. Zoom out. I'm gonna just do a while ago. We both, we use that a lot in our conversation when we game playing and troubleshooting.
Shout out to you.
Yeah. And I was like, no, like there's something in there, whatever.
Yeah.
And I
think it was profound.
Yeah. And as I continue to read or finish more books, whatever, I feel like I'm like, no, like, cause it's kind of like iron sharpens iron.
Yeah, 100%.
Where it just keeps kind of reinforcing certain thoughts I have and sharpening other thoughts maybe I didn't realize.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, I'm gonna package all this, did it, chatted it up.
Yeah, of course. I knew when you said 2 days, I knew who had a hand in it.
Who had a hand? That AI hand strong. So, chat it up, got 13 chapters.
He went on the 01 AI run. Playoffs.
This nigga good. MVP shit.
36 games.
Now, where because I'm learning, I've learned myself over time. I realized, all right, cool. The creative itch is done. I did, like I told when I wrote the fucking three season show. I did.
He also got a whole full Netflix.
So I had to get and you like, Key, we got other shit going on. Why the fuck you writing TV shows right now? I'm like, I'm not saying I'm about to go veer off and go do the show. I had to get it written though. I have to do those things to kind of decompress my mind and kind of get back on whatever. So I wrote it. It's done. Over time, I'll tweak or whatever, and we'll see what comes of that. But I thought, I ain't gonna lie, as I was doing, it's fucking hilarious to me.
Congratulations, man. Congratulations. No, that's as funny as it is. I fuck with it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, so I think it's interesting when people outside of my own story, I think when people have these creative urges though, I think people do something disservice when they don't attack it though.
For sure. It's funny that you even say that because I feel like we often think about like I always say like look at it like this, right? People will go pray and they'll always ask for more. God, just give me more of this, give me more of that, whatever keeps me be right. So just think of it like this. You're a parent, I'm a parent. Imagine if your daughter came to you right now and was like, Dad, I want some juice. And you give your daughter some juice, whatever case may be. She take the juice, she sit the cup to the side. Then she come back to you and say, Dad, I want some juice. What's the first thing you're going to say?
I gave you juice.
You ain't even drink the juice that I gave you.
That too, yeah.
So you asking me for more where you didn't even use what I gave you. And I feel like God has already blessed us with skill sets, talents, and gifts that we already possess. But we keep thinking we need more than what we currently have. So we haven't even started level one and implemented the tools that we was already equipped with because we keep asking for newer, reformed, and refined and upgraded and elevated tools, thinking that that's going to get us past level one when no matter what, you got to go through level one. So when I think about it, people do themselves a disservice because a lot of their creativity never hit the world because they block their own shots. And then they go back and ask God for another solution. He's like, I just gave you, I filled your cup up. You did nothing with it. You think I'm going to give you another cup? No, use what I gave you, make the most of it, see the results of it, and then let me refill you. And that's how you kind of, empty the cup essentially.
For sure. And, I feel like, and whether even it's not creative, it could be something that's like, no, you need to change that job. You need to change that relationship. You need to get in the gym, whatever it is. Yeah. And it's sometimes it's funny because whether it's New Year resolutions, people also psych themselves out where it's like, well, I'm already see myself stopping, so I start.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe this time you don't stop.
Yeah. That's right.
As you say, stop the negative self-talk. Like when you the different ways
at
to
least get the neutral. Yeah.
Like at least get the neutral. So who knows? Maybe this time you'll stick to it. Either way, it's better to start it and then see what happens though.
Yeah.
And I know, like I said, so I realized that I can get better with scaling and improving at certain points, whatever. But one thing I always tell people is I'm gonna start some shit though.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna start it.
See what happens.
Yeah, I'm gonna start it and get the momentum going. As far as like sustaining it or scaling it, that's one thing. But I when people don't even start shit, that's kind of like a pet peeve of mine. Cause like, yo, apply to the job. Like, like apply for the
Give yourself an opportunity.
Give
yourself an opportunity.
And I tell people all the time, like, you know, a lot of my friends, their job situations, whatever, I be giving them insight. I mean, yo, like the worst thing your boss or whoever you can say is no.
No, that's a fact.
Like, ask anything. Like,
I think that people have a big fear of rejection too. So that fear of rejection, they'd rather reject themselves than get somebody what they feel and deem to be the satisfaction of rejecting them. So because they think like, I'm not about to give you power over this decision to tell me no, I'm gonna tell myself no. But the crazy thing about it is you telling yourself no is you don't never get an opportunity to say yes.
Absolutely.
So you got to tell yourself yes and make everybody else tell you no. It's like, I'm not going to tell myself no. I'm not going to be like, no, this ain't going to. I'm going to let circumstances come together and tell me like, no, this ain't it. It's not going to be one of them situations where it's like, I'm just looking at it like, oh no, I've seen it. Now, granted, some things we just not capable of.
Right.
If it's a situation where you know I'm just not capable of doing that, that's not the same as you being super capable of it, but you doubting yourself and you're not committing to it because you think that it might not go as far as you see it because shit just go as far as it's supposed to go. And then that's where you become who you become in that process of getting there lets you know when you get to that fork in the road which way to pivot. But if you never even get started on your journey, then you going nowhere anyway. And it's like you're not, even when you think about your GPS, you could plug in your GPS right now that you want to go to a particular location. It's not going to show you the entire route. It's only going to show you the next turn, then the next turn, then the next turn. At each turn, and then if you run into a roadblock, it's going to do what? Redirect and show you another turn. So nowhere in life's navigation are you able to just go from A to Z and see the whole entire picture. So not starting, you just end up staying there. And if it says it was going to take you 4 hours, guess what's going to happen 4 days later? It's going to still say that it's going to take you 4 hours. But when you get started, you start to chop into that time, and then you realize I'm getting closer and closer and closer. Yeah, you might have to stop for gas. Yeah, you might have to stop for food. Yeah, you might have to take a bathroom break, but ultimately you still headed in that direction. But if you never even line up and give yourself that opportunity, you never know where you could have ended up because you never even got started on where you were supposed to go.